Oh, thanks, everyone. I have two announcements. First, we didn't use Easy Cater for this meeting, which is why the food never arrived. Also, and I just thought of this, effective immediately, everyone will be paid in wildly volatile cryptocurrency. You're all now billionaires. And now you're broke.
Bad ideas happen when there's no food for the meeting. So make sure it's on time and as ordered from more than 80,000 restaurants. Now, Easy Cater.
You're rich again. And now you're not.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.
This is the men's room.
Get it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Coming over to Turkey Tells for the shot of the day. Another round of profile that's coming up in our question as we have two stories. A great-grandmother kills a 12-foot gator with one shot, and she believes that it is the same gator that ate her miniature horse some 3 years ago. She is a Texas great-grandmother, and back in 2015, her miniature horse basically went missing without a trace.
Does the horse have a name by it?
Now, just so you know, though, they do not mention the name. Yeah, you know what? I did not get that information.
I just feel like if you were that close to your miniature horse, I'm sure you had a name, but I just feel like instead of her, she keeps saying my miniature horse, like Sheila.
But she waited and she stalked and she waited, and believe it or not, in Texas, in this particular county, you have a 20-day window when you can go alligator hunting. Mm-hmm. She kept looking for the alligator, but lo and behold, there was never one big enough that she knew could have eaten her miniature horse. Finally,
it is a miniature.
She spots this alligator that is huge, and the first one that she's seen this big in 3 years. She baits it. They trap it. No, don't trap it. They catch it with a hook.
Right.
And then she shoots it in the head. She's going to mount the head, and she says the skin will be made for boots, and the meat will go in her freezer.
By the way, I have nothing against miniature horses, but I keep hearing the story, and I keep thinking about a miniature horse, all right? And then, like, what is the purpose of a miniature horse?
They just look cool.
I mean, is it just companion like a dog or a cat? Like, you get a dog or a cat, and even when they say, hey, they're bred to do this, like that, but you probably don't use it for that reason, but it's your bud, right?
Yeah.
And I get that. And then some people, they have, just horses, and people that have horses for a reason. And I get, but then there's like a miniature horse.
I think you go.
Like, what do I do with this?
I think
now?
you go to like Applebee's and you tie it up out front, like you wrote it in, and then you go in and you eat, and then you come back out, and you just walk out with it. I think you got to go in areas.
You can walk.
That's why I get a miniature horse, is to walk to freaking Applebee's.
Just to go someplace where people see you.
That's the sell on me getting a miniature horse.
You got to go in general areas where people go, what is that guy doing with a miniature horse?
But people like miniature animals. Like I have a buddy that has miniature goats.
And miniature goats?
And like what are the...
Yeah.
And what do you do with the miniature goat?
Well, you do the same goat stuff you do with a regular goat.
What's goat stuff?
What is goat stuff anyway?
Because now you feed it fruit rinds and stuff like that.
Do you eat the goat milk? No. Do you make, I don't know,
First of all, you can't eat any milk.
Or drink it, you know what I mean? Use it for cheese, whatever.
No, he doesn't milk his goats. They're just cool. You have goats on the property, and they're goats. So they chew up grass and stuff.
But they're miniature. Like how big are they?
Egyptian
goat milk.
Yeah, because
you say this like we're going to be like, oh, Egyptian goats. I don't know what that is.
A creamer with my
The problem is everybody I know is getting goddamn goats, all right? When you get a real goat.
Where are you living?
Without the horn. Well, they're my friends. I don't live out there.
All right.
If you get a real goat with horns and stuff, they're a-holes. They're going to headbutt you, this and that.
Have you ever been headbutted by a goat at one of your friends' places?
Have you?
Yeah.
Does it hurt?
He's a D.
Did he just come up and do it, or did
you got headbutted by a goat?
Yes.
What was the goat's name?
Boo Boo.
Boo Boo
headbutted by Boo Boo.
He's an a-hole.
All right.
But my other buddy, he's got two of these small Egyptian ones, and they don't have horns. So if they kind of headbutt you or whatever, just like, whatever.
But how small? Are they like the size of a mid-sized dog?
Oh, little teeny tiny.
I got a picture of me with them.
All right.
I'll show you.
I want to see these miniature goats. What other miniature animals are there? Just goats and horses, I guess?
No, because there's...
Like, you don't have a miniature dog.
This is where sliders come from.
Right, but people love small dogs, right?
Yeah, but they're not miniature dogs. They're just a small
miniature horses, miniature goats. There's miniature animals.
Are there miniature pigs?
I want a miniature tiger.
Yeah.
I want a miniature tiger.
See, you have one.
Well, I know, but with the stripes.
You have one,
But with the stripes. Like, I want it to look like a Bengal
Your
tiger.
cat looks almost as much like a tiger as you can look before you're actually a tiger.
That's a pretty good point.
God damn, you are just splitting hairs. Like, dude, you have a cat
I want a miniature
that looks
tiger
like a
in the
tiger,
line.
and it's
Yeah,
a pretty
it is.
big goddamn cat.
When did you find out your grandparent was a badass? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Andrew. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so my grandpa was a Marine fighter pilot in World War II in the Pacific. And he was out flying, missions and close air support and all that. And back in the day, I guess they didn't have the same sort of communications abilities as they have now. So he was out flying this mission, and the Japanese, what they would do is they had their guns on, tracks. So then they'd, hide them. And then when enemy aircraft were coming over, they'd roll them out into position and get ready and start shooting at them. So he's flying a mission that had apparently already been, that target had already been attacked that day. So by the time he's showing up, they're already ready for him. And so he said he looks over his shoulder, the way he described it to me, and saw this big gun up on a hill shooting at him. And his plane got hit, and fire erupted and smoke, everything in the cockpit. And he opens up his canopy. He's going to bail out, but he's too low. His chute wouldn't have opened in time. And the prop blast, though, wound up blowing the smoke and everything out of the canopy, and he used his canteen to put out the fire, the flames on his jumpsuit that were on his shoulders and his thighs. And so he just flew back to base.
Damn. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, and we still have his flight log. We're like, that's a cool story. Let's see what he wrote about it. And he was always kind of a pretty stoic kind of guy. And his flight log, it just has the mission number. It just says, took fire, returned to base.
Yeah.
Laid back. Mine would have been like, holy S. By the way, regarding miniature horses.
Okay.
I mean, we know they exist. We just, maybe you just like the idea of one, but we don't understand the purpose of it. You know what I mean? So it says miniature horses. They used to haul carts out of mines. You can train and use miniature. If you own a coal mine, that's great.
Oh, really?
Okay? If you own a coal mine, that's great. It doesn't matter now. You can train and use miniature horses for service animals. They're not completely useless. Again, I'm not talking about someone who needs a service animal or the rare person who owns a coal mine. Just why does the average person...
Could you put your golf clubs on their back and they could be your caddy?
Well, it says you can use a miniature horse to pull a little buggy. So
all right,
there's
okay.
something.
All right.
But let's be honest.
That'd be cool.
It's not like your dog does anything. He's just your dog.
He's my buddy.
Yeah.
I'm just
a miniature
saying.
horse could be your buddy.
I'm just saying it's just a little different. It says I have 2 miniature horses, and my wife teaches horse lessons to kids as young as 2 years old.
All right.
But see, these are people that have a purpose for it.
I know, but all right, how much is a miniature horse?
Let's find out.
How much is a miniature? How much are you going to guess? Ted, you going to guess?
Okay.
How much? Let's think. I mean, seriously, how much is a miniature horse?
4,500.
They're not super friendly.
What do you
miniature
mean?
horses?
They're a little ornery. Mini horses.
Why are many horses ornery?
Because I looked into it.
Okay. You looked into getting one?
Yeah.
Oh,
in your apartment.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, well, it's miniature.
Okay, let's see if we can shop for one. Oh, no, you can't shop for a miniature horse.
Don't they just have for sale?
They have jerseys for them. They have coats.
Go back up to the top.
You can't.
Buy a goddamn miniature horse.
How much is a miniature horse?
Oh, really?
I'm shopping for a miniature horse. They don't have any. Well, at least they don't on Amazon. When did you find out your grandparent was a badass? We can get one by tomorrow. So I'm a Prime member.
Yeah.
844-999-OLA.
Hello. God damn it. Hello, Trevor. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola. Trevor, hang on. Hang on 1 second. What do you say?
We can buy one for $1,500 in Alabama. Yeah. There's one in Columbus, Ohio for $5,500.
Do they ship it up here?
But he's a little smaller. I think the smaller, the more expensive.
Well, let's go smaller. You got to take care of them.
Yeah, here's one in New Paltz, New York for $1,800. It looks like you could get into a nice miniature horse for about $1,000 to $1,500 to $2,000.
Find out if they'll ship it. Find out if they'll ship it, because if they will, I'm going to prank somebody.
This is a colt, anyways.
Now, somebody's going down, and you're going to be the proud owner of a miniature horse.
This is a colt. It's 4.5 inches high.
4.5 inches.
Yeah, height or hoof. Okay, 4.
Yeah, that's right. Come on.
Okay.
I'm going to send one to my uncle in California. Mm-hmm. He's the last person that should have one. He'll love it. Hello, Trevor. Welcome back to the program.
What's up?
Hola.
So, when I found out my grandma was a badass, I was probably 7 or 8, and her neighbor's dog went into the other neighbor's yard, and it was a little Shih Tzu and started getting attacked by 2 Rottweilers and a German Shepherd. And me and my cousins were playing outside, and we start freaking out, and here comes my grandma running out of the garage with a baseball bat, jumps the fence, and gets the little dog out of there.
Let me just say this. We had a caller earlier at a Shih Tzu, and he says, But his grandfather had a Shih Tzu at the bar, and someone came in and just kicked
What is it about this dog?
Wait, just kicked the Shih Tzu. In this case, this other dog gets to the neighbor's yard. These dogs start tearing up the Shih Tzu. Basically, what I'm learning is, in the dog world, Shih Tzus just have it coming. Mm-hmm. Like, apparently, they're just unlikable. So if you have a Shih Tzu, remember that.
What are they good for?
I don't know.
Wow. I mean, I agree with you, right?
Look at this little guy right here. Isn't he cute?
How big is he? He is
Pinto
cute.
filly, $1,400 there. And
That's full grown?
Yeah, well, I think that's
It's a miniature horse.
I mean, what did you expect?
But do they ship?
I
Honestly,
mean, not that small.
I'm sending one to somebody.
you could probably get one of these under your seat.
I am sending one of those to somebody, man. Absolutely.
Look at that guy. He don't want to move at all.
Let's send one to Hair Club. Let's order a miniature horse.
He would love this thing. Look at this thing.
He has a little kid at home.
Yeah, no.
He
That's
would
the only
be.
issue.
No. It's not the
telling
issue,
you, they
Ted.
bite.
Look,
they
that's,
bite?
no, that's his problem at that point.
Yeah.
My point is that kids are going to think that Hair Club's the greatest dad ever because he's going to say, "Hey, man,
Uncle Steve
when I
and
was a
Uncle
kid,
Miles sent that to
he
us.
honestly got me a
Oh,
pony."
here's a beautiful one.
Every kid would love to say that.
Because even when you get to Christmas
Look
and
at
they show
that.
the commercials of Lexus, it's like the girl who didn't get a pony, but
Right, and now she gets a Lexus.
Yeah,
that kid will never want a Lexus. We're going to get him a miniature horse.
pony.
Let's send that damn thing
right.
straight.
And then later on, you can get like an RX 400. When did you find out your grandparent was a badass? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Dan. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola. So I have a story about my great-granddad, and I also sent a text in about my granddad. But
All right.
I'll get to the first one. My great-granddad fought in World War I, and one day when they were advancing, they'd already taken over the ground that they were advancing over. A German popped out of a, I guess you could call it like a little spider hole. You know,
Yeah.
spiders that have a hole and cover it up.
Right, trapdoor spider. Yeah.
Exactly. So the German popped out and stabbed him through the back of the kneecap with his bayonet. He turned around, killed the guy. His unit keeps pushing forward. He's by himself bandaging his knee, and a bunker that they passed started emptying out up to 25 Germans, I think it was. And not, having his rifle, I guess, in his hands, he pulled 2 grenades off his belt and captured 25 German prisoners with 2 hand grenades.
Wow. God,
Awesome.
Damn, man.
That's crazy.
See, the story with me would have been like, and then he died while screaming a lot.
I think we're low on toner on this printer. That's what we say in the office.
Those are our problems.
Exactly. You smell that? Someone making popcorn? Who's making popcorn? That's what goes on in our life. Nothing like these people. When did you find out your grandparent was a badass? 844-999-OLA. We've got your emails on the way from the men's room at mensroomlive.com coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, when did you find out your grandparent was a badass? And here come those emails to the men's room at mensroomlive.com.
You've got mail. You've got mail.
Guys, growing up, my grandfather was always a quiet man. To be honest, I was kind of always felt sorry for him because my grandmother was more domineering than anything else. Well, he passed away when I was about 13 years old. In my 30s, I started doing some research into my family history and found out not only was he as tough as nails as a Marine, but after the Marine Corps, he got mixed up with some bad dudes and did 2 years in San Quentin for cracking a safe. Turns out Grandpa was kind of a badass. That from Mike. Grandpa Orville, no longer with us, but back in his youth, he lassoed wild horses, brought them back to the ranch, and then broke them and sold them in town.
Miniature horses?
One of the original badass cowboys, he also rode a dirt bike until he was 90 and crashed it, and my grandma had to tell him that he was done. He took me fishing one time, and we ended up in the middle of nowhere, stumbled upon some deer, and they looked at us like they had never seen humans. Dramatic left turn in that story. Fellas, the flight deck, by the way, if you're wondering, where the grandfather basically threw the admiral through
The admiral threw somebody off, yeah.
The flight deck is 90 feet above the water, so it's a heck of a fall. However, they do a swim call off the aircraft elevators. When they lower them and it's about 45 feet, then it's still ouch. Love the show. Grandpa fought in World War II. He was captured by the Germans, and they didn't know what to do with him. He was a full-blood Apache named Moses, so they put him with the Jewish population. He escaped 3 times, and twice he got caught. 3rd time was in the dead of winter. He buried himself in the snow and breathed through a grass stem while the dogs searched for him. He was hidden by a German officer's wife for 6 months until the war ended. That from Bernie the Glass Man.
You know what he's talking about.
He was hidden.
You're not hidden.
I'm going to keep you under this bed for 6 months. Moses. You stay right there. Yeah. Okay, I'm not moving. I'll stay.
All right.
Okay. My grandmother carried her baby brother for 1,500 miles when she was 5 years old from Texas to Arizona as part of a wagon train. She said the children had to walk for 5 days, then they could have 2 days in the wagon. The elderly could be in the wagon full time. That took 1.5 months to make the trip, so I would say those folks had to be badasses. Guys, my grandpa died shoveling snow. After these stories, it all makes sense now. Yeah, he didn't want. But he still wanted to get the hell out of there. Right. So
he was
shoveling the driveway so he could pull his car out so he could leave. I mean, you got to think this thing through.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's
he
just
wasn't shoveling the sidewalk,
right?
So that friends could come over.
He wanted
to leave.
That is a common one, sadly.
Yes.
Especially shoveling snow.
But it means enough to, like, I'm going to go out there and do it.
I will risk.
I'm not even going to wait for kids to knock on my door. Right. You know, he's like, I got to get out of here. Why do you think I put studs on the tire like 4 months ago in case this would happen, just to make sure I could leave? Guys, my grandfather served in the Army during World War II in North Africa. After he passed away, we were cleaning up his house, and in a chest, I found 2 metal scabbard Nazi daggers wrapped in a Nazi flag. I asked my dad about them, and he informed me that he took the daggers off of an officer. He retired during the war.
I thought it was a gift from the White House.
And brought them back. They're on the matches now. As for the flag, after the war, he was watching a parade in his town, and some idiot started running down the street waving the Nazi flag. My grandpa chased him down and beat him into a bloody pulp and took the flag. The cop casually strolled over, told my grandpa to have a nice day. They simply drugged the guy into a gutter and left him there and walked away. That from Homebrew. My, how times have changed. Guys, 2 747s collided in, Tenerife, back in 1977. Sorry if I mispronounced that, not familiar. My grandparents survived a ball of fire that came barreling down the fuselage. With burns over 30% of their bodies, they then jumped off the wings, which is like jumping basically out of a 4-story building.
Jesus.
That's crazy. Any comments?
I'm just gonna share this one. We were talking about miniature horses, all right? Mm-hmm. Like, do they serve a purpose? And yes, I know they can be used as service animals. Yes, you can teach small children to ride horses. But just as a pet, makes no sense. Anyway, This guy says, I had a mini horse, and he was 28 inches tall to his withers. Where are the withers on a horse?
I don't know. The top?
The shoulders.
Oh, the shoulder.
Top of the shoulder. So I had a mini horse. He was 28 inches tall to the top of his to his withers, top of the shoulders. He was an a-hole.
All right. Okay.
That is the entire thing.
That's the thing you always hear about him, is that the miniature horses are very ornery and, like, bite everybody and this and that. But I've met one. He was cool.
All right, so the one you knew was okay.
Well, he was all decked out in Seahawks gear.
All right, guys, today we celebrate the 2nd annual galactic voyage around our solar system for our son, Finn. Any chance you could give some life advice for maybe Mickey and Goofy? LARP on, guys. That from Joel and Shannon.
Well, gosh, life advice for a 7-year-old. I got plenty of things to tell you. 2-year-old. Oh, boy. Well, a lot of people just keep your nose clean, quit pooping in your pants, and aim a little better at the toilet.
Riley, every day's magical, and it ends in ice cream. So even at 2, you should end every day in ice cream.
Oh, boy. Mickey's a damn liar.
Here's another one, guys. They're coming on strong. This one says, guys, today's my daughter Haley's 5th birthday. Can the Disney characters wish her a happy birthday and tell her about how much they love unicorns? Thanks, guys. That from Anchor.
Oh, I absolutely love unicorns, Haley. They stay crunchy in milk.
Actually, unicorns were developed by me and Goofy down in the Magic Kingdom. We took a miniature horse, shoved an ice cream cone on top of his head. Magical. It was a waffle cone.
Had to be.
Regular cone would have been too soft.
So next time you see
it had a flat top.
next time you see a unicorn, you should eat it.
Probably got a chocolate filling at the bottom of that bad boy. You know what I mean? Like the drumstick.
God, they're not all drumsticks, Mario.
I know, but they're so good. I love a drumstick.
You know what? To your credit, the other day I had the other one.
Right.
And I don't think they have chocolate in the bottom.
And you were pissed off when you got down, aren't you? Yes.
That's why you want the drumstick.
Right, you do.
Our unicorns will be
Stupid, because the whole drumstick is full of ice cream. The ice cream cone is like, can't wait to get that chocolate part at the bottom.
Yeah, you do. Fellas, I'd like to wish Jacob, pronounced J. Diggity, a very happy 12th rotation around the burning ball of plasma. How about giving him a little kid fish sandwich or a barbershop fish sandwich? A thanks show. We love you from the moon and back. That from Mom, Scott, and Olive.
Is it too early for a fish sandwich? Cheese and tartar on the side. I smell the fish sandwich, maybe some dill relish in the morning, at noon, and at night, and at night.
Guys, want to wish my son Evan a happy 12th birthday. He's been listening to your show for 10 years, and he loves Noah Sherlock. Can you give me your penis is too small? Thanks, guys. He would love it. 12 years old. From the Weekend Dad. It'll grow. It'll grow, buddy. You're getting there. Hold on, I would like to wish my fiance a happy birthday. Can you give her the dirty Germans talking about cats? Love you guys. That from Lauren.
Yeah, there are so many things I like to say about pussy cats.
Yeah, I like cats, man. So I always look for the nipple. You know when they put their paws on you?
Guys, I'd like to wish a happy birthday to my sweetest love, Jory, or Yori. Can I get a Leroy Jenkins? Love, Rose and Mariah.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Today is my son Cyrus's birthday. Yes, just like Miley. Could you give him an old-fashioned fish sandwich and some dirty Germans? That from John the Butler.
Fish sandwich?
Yeah, I'm not in the military, but I will make every day your D-Day.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this before, but I hope you played Sonics because you're going to catch the hedgehog.
Yeah, let's not bring up Nintendo.
It's kind of been wrong, huh?
Yeah, sour image in here. We'll never eat magic mushrooms again.
Or Yeti pubes. Birthday shout out to a good friend of mine I used to work with. I call her Benz. Her name is Mercedes. She's 22. Could you get a big old bong rip? Stay beautiful, bitches. That from Rain Dizzle. Guys, big birthday shout out to Sexy Rexy, turning 23. How about this? Dirty Germans. Thanks, guys, from the crazy Gemini Sarah.
Yeah, I don't want you to snap into a Slim Jim. How about a Fat James?
Yeah, when you're done with that, make sure you come by. Come by. for delicious treats. Sorry, I got to reach with ahead of myself now.
Hey,
oh, these Germans are wild today. Yeah, I think I just made a new category.
Oh, man.
I try it. Yeah. You want to bake one? Guys, this is Terry from Tacoma. I'd like to wish my beautiful wife a happy birthday from her boys, Traxon, Terry, and Evan. How about some Aussie Ted and an OG fish sandwich, please?
Fish sandwich?
Teddy from Melbourne. Hey, it's your birthday. That's a good thing. I'll be like a dingo and clean up the scraps.
Please wish a happy 34th
Everybody doesn't
birthday.
get the best birthday. Sometimes you need the scraps.
Right. To my husband, Phil, please. How about a little kid's fish sandwich? Thanks. That from Shelby, McKenna, and Layla.
Fish sandwich.
Guys, birthday request from my friend Jason. We went to Pain in the Grass this year to see Lamb of God. Got done moshing in the pit. Drove back. He drove me back home because I was too intoxicated to drive. Great guy. Thanks, Jason. Give him a you like that and the Dirty Germans. Thanks a lot, guys. That from Ryan.
You like that? You like that?
Yeah, tonight we will have bird sex. I'll be the woodpecker, you be the swallow.
Yeah, you like Lamb of God? Get ready for the pork of God.
Guys, how about Thrill yelling some gifts with some shotgun blasts and maybe some Dirty Germans talking about professional wrestling for the birthday? That's from Ben, the official spokesman for the garbage plate around the country, listening on 96.5 WCMF in Rochester.
Yeah, I cannot wait to wrestle this evening. I will show you my finishing move. It's called the custard chucker.
Yeah, and like that one guy's grandfather, unlike that one guy's grandfather, I will be using my knuckles.
Guys, want to wish my pops Ray the Bison Meduna happy 56. Going to get 3 Joey Chestnuts and Ozzy Ted talking about competitive eating. Much love from Kelly, Tim, Charlie, and Lando.
Joey Chestnut! Joey Chestnut! Joey Chestnut!
Ted here from Melbourne. You know, I like the professional eating. I like the way you shove it down your gullet. And then you just chipmunk it. Getting it all in there. Swallow it whole.
Guys, send a birthday shout out to my boyfriend
That guy
Tim.
is a professional eater, by the way.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, the bison.
Oh, nice. Pronounced Stan. He turned me on to you guys a few years ago. It's made my drive home much more enjoyable. Birthday requests are his least favorite part of your show because he finds all of your sound effects annoying. So let's give him a Leroy Jenkins. Thanks, guys. Love his, Dingleberry Monkey Butt.
Let's do this. Leroy
Fire for the birthdays, guys.
Stan, sorry I didn't write you back.
My name is Laura, and today's my 57th year around the sun. I would love to hear Leroy Jenkins and the Dirty Germans wishing me a happy birthday as only they can. Thanks, guys, and love the show.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins!
Yeah, I am not saying at your age you are a dinosaur, but when we are done, you will be one kind of sore ass.
Yeah, like a T-Rex, I have little arms with big bottoms.
Yeah.
All right, guys, here we go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday! Happy, happy, happy birthday! Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, bitchy!
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
All right, come on, drink and tell us where the shot of the day, boy, first.
Now, the men's room wants to know who sucks less.
Yay! Time once again for Who Sucks Less. Steve is Will Hill. Each and every week you bring us 3 stories from the news. It's up to us to determine which of these 3 stories, in fact, suck the least. Now, if you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live, or you like the Men's Room on Facebook, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And as always, we bring you 3 stories. In this case, we will be where it involves the staff at some senior care centers, if you will. They'll be competing against a woman in Nevada. Well, maybe not her, but say her jailers, if you will, in Nevada. And then we will take a little visit to Hurricane Florence, where some of what you hope wouldn't happen is happening anyway. But let's start in California, where staff at 2 senior care centers abandoned residents during an evacuation. But this as wildfires swept through the Northern California last October. No one in either facility died. That's the good news. Now, the Department of Social Services, the complaint says that more than 20 people would have died in a dementia facility as it burned to the ground. But luckily, family members and emergency responders managed to get there after all of the staff had already left. The investigation says that night staff members at Villa Capri, they're not trained in emergency procedures and that never practiced a fire drill. They cannot find the keys to a bus that could have helped speed up the evacuation. So the story is they weren't trained on how to do a fire drill, but it didn't occur to any of them that when a building is burning down, maybe you need to get the patients out. They're under investigation, et cetera, et cetera. Now, let's go to Nevada, where a woman locked away in the Mineral County Jail. She failed to take care of a few traffic tickets. That's why she's in a jail cell. Now, 27-year-old Kelly Coltrane, she has to go to the hospital, but instead, her condition started worsening. She was handed a mop and told to clean up her own vomit. Well, she ended up dying in her jail cell less than an hour after that. Now, despite being in a video-monitored cell, deputies apparently say didn't recognize that she'd suffered a seizure and had not moved for more than 6 hours.
Oh, boy.
When a deputy finally entered the cell and could not wake her, he did not call for medical assistance or attempt to resuscitate her. She lay dead in her cell until the next morning when state officials arrived to investigate. Well, the investigation found that her jailers violated multiple policies when they denied her medical care after she informed them that she was dependent on drugs, suffered seizures, and went through withdrawals. Now, let's go to basically North Carolina for the most part, but companies in North Carolina, they're being accused of charging exorbitant prices for food, water, and fuel during what is now known as Tropical Depression Florence. State officials received about 500 complaints. The companies have breached the state's price gouging laws. which obviously bars people from charging unreasonably excessive prices during an official state of emergency. So, North Carolina's Attorney General, John Stein, he announced the 500 complaints over the weekend and said it's mostly against hotels and gas stations. The law of price gouging, it took effect earlier this year in September. This is when the governor there, Roy Cooper, he declared a state of emergency ahead of Hurricane Florence's expected landfall, and this lasts until the emergency ends. Keep in mind, price gouging is not unusual. This after large natural disasters. They include things like $20 for a gallon of gas, $99 for a case of water. That's the kind of thing that's going on.
Yeah, okay. I think this is an easy one.
All right.
I think the worst is the woman in Nevada in the jail who was denied medical care. Obviously, in my mind, that's the worst. I think, again, when it comes to care, the centers in California, that's where your maybe your grandparents are or your family members or your parents are. You expect them to get some form of care one way or another, or that someone is paying attention to them. And a lot of
paid attention to them, they just left them.
Yeah, but they're not able to care for themselves.
That's why they're there.
So the two stories that involve someone needing to care for an individual, all right? I mean, that's a big deal. Now, the other end of it, look, there's a reason your Uber costs more on a Friday night than it does on a Monday morning for the same goddamn trip. Right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying in this scenario for who sucks less, I'm going to have to say that the price gouging group in the area taking advantage of people, they suck the least, unfortunately. Even though they suck.
What? Then I'll take... I think the people at the old folks' home suck the most. They could have helped somebody out of there. But I'll switch it and say the jail sucks the least because as bad as that story is, like, that happens all the time in our jail system. Yeah, like, I know somebody, and this happened to a family member. You know, like he was in there puking his brain, and they didn't do anything. So, kind of like you're saying, like it's a much darker, but it's like sadly par for the course.
Right. Okay.
Sadly, I think they all are. That's really the bad. That's the worst part. It's like
none
all
of this shocks me.
Yeah, you're not blown away by any of this.
If you want to continue the debate there, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Like the Men's Room on Facebook as Who Sucks Less continues. All right, still to come, we're going to drink and toast with the shot of the day, and the word gives us new words and new names. That is coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitch, hola. You have entered the men's room.
Coming up, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day, but first...
The word!
All right, time for the word. And as you know, every year as we continue to change the language we speak, known as the English language, there are new terms, there are new words, there are new names that seemingly get added into the dictionary every year, and new names basically pop up based on popularity. So, what we have here is we've got a couple of different dictionaries, and they're close. One is more traditional than the other, but both of them seem to be headed the same direction, which is you got to keep up with the lingo. So here are some of the new words that have been added to the dictionary. We'll start with the Oxford English Dictionary, as they just added a bunch of new modern words, and we'll say this, we are definitely changing the English language.
All right.
Here are some of the additions. I'm sure you'll know the definition, but I'll give you the term. The term is binge watch.
Yeah, fair enough.
To watch multiple episodes consecutively or in rapid succession.
But wait, why does it have to be binge watch? You don't need to add it as a word. I only say that because people say you can go binge drinking. You can binge watch. You can binge a lot. I can binge drugs.
I think the term is just used so much more than everything else. Okay.
Right. But it explains itself. If you binged on something, whatever you add after that, I did a lot of whatever.
Do you know what a stan is?
A stan? No.
This is, any idea?
A weird fan?
Pretty close. An overzealous or obsessed fan of a particular celebrity. That's a stan.
Okay. Eminem song.
Imposter syndrome.
Imposters. I mean, I guess that's what it says, but
it's weird. The inability to believe that one's success is deserved or has been legitimately achieved as a result of one's own effort or skills.
Do you feel that about yourself or about someone else?
Like you're not worthy is the way I get that, right? If you do well, all right. We know what a spoiler alert is.
Yes.
How about a microaggression, which is a noun?
Yeah, I know what that is.
What is it?
Like,
I'm mad for a second?
No, it's like if I offended you in some... it's very tough. There are microaggressions, right? It's like when everybody said everybody liked John Kerry. So you're like, well, he still voted against this. So it's
okay,
kind of
all right, I got you.
Like, it's hard to explain. It's one of those things you only know if you do it.
Here's the definition. A statement, action, or incident regarded as an instance of indirect, subtle, or unintentional discrimination or prejudice.
Okay. Right.
So, all right. Okay. Now we'll go on and we'll talk about some
Assuming you would love rap.
Right.
Right?
Okay,
I'm trying to think of an example. That would
You
be
play
better.
basketball? Sure.
Right.
Merriam-Webster, hey, look, man, they've got some of their dictionary-worthy words. They added 800.
Good.
800
Do they get rid of any
new words.
You know, like there's words that no one uses anymore. Like,
Oh, boy. Okay, I'll give you a few of them, all right? And you'd be surprised what some of the things are. Okay, for an example, hophead.
Somebody that
beer
loves
guy.
IPAs.
Somebody who loves microbrews and IPAs.
I'm a hophead.
Zoodles, guys.
Zoodles?
Goodbye.
Zoodles.
Goodbye? Yeah, goodbye with...
Zoodles. Zoodles.
Oh, zucchini
zucchini
noodles.
Zucchini noodles.
My bad.
Zucchini. I knew you wouldn't get that.
Yeah,
because
that's
it's,
ridiculous.
It's a vegetable, and you would never never do that.
I mean,
Should be all the
nothing to
black
me.
bean ones anyhow.
okay. How about a mocktail?
Yeah, it's like a cocktail with no alcohol.
Mocktail. Very
Yeah.
good.
Kids drink.
Okay. Here's a new word. Tent city.
Tent city. Well, I can guess what that is.
We know what that is.
It's under every overpass in every major city.
Yep, and so was Food Bank. So Food Bank and Tent City were added along with biohacking. Here's one. Airplane mode. Bless you.
All right.
Yeah.
Airplane mode is new. Force quits. Instagramming. A
See, to
few
me,
more.
airplane mode always meant get drunk.
In airplane
Because to
mode.
me, that's airplane mode.
Yeah, pretty much.
Airplane mode just was put it on silent.
Well, I was talking about your phone.
Bingeable time suck. This is, again, new words added to the
Bingeable.
Merriam-Webster Dictionary.
Maybe you
Also,
binge way too much.
I guess so. Here are some
What
of
does
the...
bingeable time suck mean?
Bingeable time suck, it's having multiple episodes or parts that can be watched in rapid succession.
It's the same thing.
And an activity to which one devotes a lot of time that might be better or more productively spent doing something
That's
else.
what binging is.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Adorbs, extremely charming or appealing. Oh, so adorbs. There's Rendo. He's a Rendo. It's a Rendo.
Somebody nobody knows.
Right. Who's
random
that
person.
Rando? Random person.
Or somebody says something, but it's like, that's random.
They put in guac. They put in hangry, irritable, or angry because of hunger. Guac for guacamole. And finally, the website nameberry.com just went through the Social Security Administration's data on baby names from last year to find some of the zaniest names.
Zany.
That multiple parents decided to give their kids. And here are the highlights. Tesla. 141 babies were named Tesla last year. 130 girls and 11 boys.
You could name them Nikola, but you know.
There were 51
Why
girls.
not honor the car company, not a genius?
51 girls last year
Right.
named ISIS. 24
Wow.
boys named Lucifer. 12 girls named ESPN and 6 boys. There were 7 girls named
Espen.
Moo. Espen, yes, or ESPN. Arson, 11 boys got that name. Yo-Yo for 10 girls. Stalin for 7 boys. ABCDE for 6 girls. And Slayer for 6 rocking boys. Robin, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head Tuesday Drink Desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Today we toast an unidentified man from Salem, New Hampshire. Just understand the police are currently looking for this man. He went to a mall in Salem, and they went into an arcade with his little 2-year-old kid, and they started playing a game by the name of Barber Cut Light. Now, what is Barber Cut Light? Basically, it's kind of like a claw machine, but instead of dropping a metal claw, you try to grab a stuffed animal. You press buttons to try to make 2 pairs of scissors cut a string that's holding the prize. You follow me?
All right.
It's not the claw. The toys are on strings. You try to manipulate the scissors, cut the string, and the toy will drop where you get it. The thing is, it looks damn near impossible to win, and it's probably because some of the prizes they display, it's really expensive stuff, like a Nintendo Switch. If you have kids, you understand this is all the rage right now. But because there are big prizes, there's also a big prize slot in the machine. So what did this guy do? He had his young daughter crawl through the hole and pass him a bunch of the toys, electronics, and gift cards. And guess what? They took off and weren't caught. It did not matter that everyone else there has them on video on their phones. The cops reviewed it. No one knows who this dude is. So basically, he and his young daughter got away with some really sweet prizes, man. These are not stuffed bananas. This is not oversized crayons. We're talking Nintendo Switch, other electronics, gift cards, because his kid can fit into the hole.
The life of crime.
Stay classy, New Hampshire. We pour this booze and we drink this booze. We think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bitchola.
Let's get caller 9 in the line for Profile This, 844-999-OLA.
The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.
Why is there a harbor seal walking around the office?
Oh, that's our new CEO.
Come again?
Well, apparently they didn't order through Easy Cater for the board meeting, and when the food didn't arrive, they kind of lost focus. Next thing you know...
We have a seal as our CEO. Did I say something wrong?
No, she just wants a mackerel. Here you go.
Bad ideas happen when there's no food for the meeting. So make sure it's on time and as ordered from more than 80,000 restaurants. Now, Easy Cater.
Thank you. I just got promoted.
Order 24/7 on EasyCater.com.